What's up? It's StonedVulcan. Wanted to do another video on officers real quick, and I'm sure there's a bunch of these out there. I know there's one really sick one that Rev just did on DCS. Definitely check that out, Rev Deuce. But this video is about the cadets, and I just am wanting to give them a shout out because, for all the free-to-play players out there, all the people that don't spend as much on officers, and you feel like you're missing out on so much by not having some of these other guys to use, right? And gals. What I want to point out today is that you're actually not missing out on as much as you think you are, and the cadet crews are really effective at a lot of different things. So I'll jump into those here in a minute, but I'm just going to stop and take a breath to kind of get myself centered here and welcome you to join me if you want. But just one deep breath in and let it out whenever you feel like it. A, that feels really good. B, I try to do that every time I log into the game. C, I try to do that every time I feel like I'm about to do something out of anger in the game. It sometimes helps, sometimes not. And also, it's part of the mindfulness mix that I'm trying to blend into things, and I'll have more videos focused on just that. But today we're talking about the cadet crew. I'm going to start with Uhura because she was kind of the surprise of the Swarm event for me. What I found really interesting about her is that there were some of the top players on our server, level 39s, right, that were using Cadet Uhura at Captain. And it's smart against the Swarm, especially in your Franklin, because she's going to decrease their weapons by 20%. That's their weapons, right? It's not any particular type of weapon or anything like decreasing their attack. No, it's 20% plus. This is with her, combined with... two of her crew, right? But then also shield health, right? 14%. That's big on an explorer. So anyways, I know that I was talking about speed crews on my Swarm video and talking about my strategy of keeping up with the big boys, right? Big gals. But the point is, sometimes if you want, the different strategy is to go and get as many kills as you can while you're there. And most of the people that were doing that with Uhura. Also, one of my favorites is Instructor Spock. He's got Knowledgeable, which is going to increase the weapon damage of the ship, right? Very cool. But then the Kobayashi Maru is what I really started to fall in love with him on, because that is essentially Grace Chen's captain ability, right? And I was in love with her captain ability when I first started playing. I thought that it was so cool. And so once I realized that Instructor Spock could do the same thing with the Kobayashi Maru, it... made me like him a lot more. Then obviously Captain Kirk, right? He's going to increase the stats of the officers on the bridge, plus that'll go up when he's with his teammates, right? And then this is what I think is really cool about him too, right? He's going to increase the weapon damage of the ship by 20%. At this point, my Carol does 25%, right? And so for the people who haven't unlocked Carol yet, I did a video on her. If you haven't unlocked her yet, but you need got someone to step in and do some extra weapons damage, right? Whoops. That's the opposite of what I was trying to get. Anyways, Kirk's a good weapons damage increaser, which a lot of times is going to do more than something like Cadet Sulu, right? Which is going to increase the attack of the officers on the ship, not necessarily the weapons damage. However, the one time that I do use him, and by the way, his other move, of course, is he'll increase the damage of the first shots, right? So if you're trying to kill someone really quick and not let them get off another volley or whatever, right, you can maybe try and boost him. I don't use that very often. But this is the attack boost I did use one time because I was trying to see if, like, what it would take to get Kang on a Franklin to give me as much or more of an accuracy boost than blue rare Uhura does, right? Over here. Oops, this one. 70% versus the 200% of all the attack. And so to get the 200% attack number to be big enough to beat her 70% all up, I ended up using Morale Captain, Cadet Sulu on one side, and then Kang on the other. And that got me, and then all of my best attack officers, right, on the bench. And that got me enough attack to make it worth the accuracy boost. But then I had switched so many officers to get there. It was kind of, I don't know. It was still fun getting there and doing the math. Nerd. But there was also the fact that morale is actually pretty good at killing swarm, although it's not accuracy. It's just, anyways, they don't have shields, so the armor piercing. Let's go to Montgomery. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. What I will say about him is that if you can use him as the captain when you're going around doing stuff right, um, he adds more value than just giving you the the distance boost. But I'm guessing, typically you've got two other officers in there with them that are higher level to try and get things done. Or a lot of times, what I do for speed, I'll use my North Star, and then I'll put in Hadley at captain, right? Hadley as the Galaxy Traveler warp speed, and then obviously Helvia, who's up here. Oops. Helvia with Gold Rush speed increase, and then Scotty, Cadet Scott, Montgomery Scott. So let me do that. And then the last guy, of course, this is important. So of all the rambling that I've done, zero back in, listen, Leonard McCoy, his psychologist ability only works with the other cadets. If I'm wrong, someone prove me wrong or tell me I'm wrong, right? That works for Scopely. But from what I've been told, his ability only works with other cadets. And so when I first started playing the first few months, I was putting him with Claw, I was putting him with everyone. And until someone tells you, it's hard to necessarily really have it be obvious, right? So know this, his officer ability works with his own crew only. However, I use him, so if you have a North Star, right, and you happen to have your mining crew in a different ship, and you can't get the officer that you need as the captain in the North Star, one of the things that I'll do is put in Cadet McCoy with like Scotty, Cadet Scotty usually, because I'm trying to go far. And then also Vela, right? And then you load your entire bench up with the healthiest, fattest officers that you've got, like Nero and all those guys. And that'll give you a pretty good mining rate with the healthy mining bonus. But it really only works long distances when there's not mining events going on, because otherwise everyone's going to be on nodes with horizons and stuff like that, and you're not going to get to hold for very long with the North Star. It's really nice when you can get one of those nodes right by your base in like and I'll talk about this in a different venue, but the 3 prime spots, right, where you can get a base right next to a node and get that going with the North Star. That's a really nice combo as well. Anyways, hope everyone's having a great day. Veterans, thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Really appreciate it. And we all get to play this game and nerd out and do these things, right? So we can appreciate the freedoms that we have and getting to also talk about these things and have a community. I know Server 20 is loaded with veterans. And so I just want to say thank you to all you guys, and hope everyone has a great week.